Hey, True Believers Anglet. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. He's just sitting there in my hand. He's like, okay, I'm all chill out. And I started talking and just kind of scared him. Okay. Anywho, we're going to be, well, it was supposed to be me and Dom. We're going to be doing a If I Wrote. Usually I do these as videos so I can add in pictures and everything. This is something we used to do. Me and my brother used to do these. He started off like he didn't like what they were doing with Green Lantern. So we did an If I Wrote. You can actually find it here. Just go to the search on the videos, type in If I Wrote, or it's a playlist. You can check it out. We did Green Lantern, and we've done Kamala Khan, Riri Williams, America Chavez, so forth, so on. And Dom liked those and said he wanted to bring it back. And I started thinking, and I came up with a Joker story. Now, this isn't so much a character thing. It's not like, oh my gosh, they're handling the Joker bad and all that kind of stuff. It's just a story that I had because I think it really started because somebody brought up the whole Batman should kill the Joker. How many lives? As a matter of fact, I had this in my story when I was thinking about it. How many lives, how many people has Batman allowed to die by letting the Joker live? That was a question in The Dark Knight Returns. And when somebody, I think it might have been Richard Meyer, Diversity in Comics, your boy Zach, whatever you want to call him. I believe it was him who brought the question back. And he was like, nah, it's stupid that the Batman shouldn't kill the Joker. Horseshit. He's wrong. He's wrong about a lot of things. He's definitely wrong about that. Because it's not his job. And that made me
his job goes to the judge and the jury.
Yeah. So I thought of a story for the Joker, and it is the last Joker story. And it starts off where almost like the Arkham Asylum game, you know, the door opens, we see the Joker coming in, but then I thought, no. I have something else that I've always thought. Batman is order, Joker is chaos. Anytime, and I have the Joker, and he's talking to a henchman, and Joker's just finished this elaborate plan. Hundreds of people have died, and he says a henchman is next to him. He's scared. He says, "Batman's coming." He goes, "I know." He says, "You always lose, boss." He says, "Anytime the Batman reacts to me, I win. He is order. I am chaos." And it then cuts to him being brought in. You know, you don't need to see the fight. You've seen the fight 100 times before, 1,000 times before. And as Batman is bringing, mind you, this is not something I've written out and everything, and I should. I do know this. Then we cut to, of course, the scene. He's bringing him into Arkham Asylum. And as he's doing this, there's a reporter there. And the reporter goes, "How many has it been this time?" And Batman says, "Hundreds," you know, very serious, very hundreds. And the reporter says, 176. He's already got the information. And he asks that same question that Batman asked himself in The Dark Knight Returns. How many people die because you don't kill them? And Batman, of course, gives him the same story. You know, the whole I'm not the executioner. I'm not a judge. I'm not an executioner. He says, "It's not my job." And the reporter looks at him and goes, "Neither is being a vigilante. Nobody hired you to do this. You took this job. You took this job on your own. So why don't you go all the way? Why don't you take care of these murderers, these thugs, these people who plague Gotham City because of you?" And Batman looks at him and says, of course, once again, he gives the same lines he's always given. "If I begin to kill now, it'll never stop. It'll become easier as it goes." And he says, well, you've taken on the responsibility. He says, no, the responsibility is the people of of Gotham. Every time I bring him here, this is where he was sentenced to be. And every time I bring him back here, he escapes and he commits a new crime. Why have they not tried him for new crimes? Why has he not found the death penalty through a jury of his peers? And that's when the story goes. And it's basically a flashback. It's going to be a flashback story, but it's told through the eyes of the Joker. And we're going to get how he really thought during the Joker Fish, how he really thought during the what was it, five flared, the card one, you know. And ultimately we see the jury, the people of Gotham, have been affected by Batman's words. We do have to make this a point of contention, a point of concern. The defense for Joker, he does get a defense. The defense for Joker will even have to bring it up. The Gotham hero said these words, but they were never recorded, and Batman is still a myth. So it doesn't work. The jury comes back after hearing everything, and they sentence him to death. Now we've got the Crown Clint. This is leading into the third act, where we have the Clown Prince of Crime on death row. And he has the psychiatrist, not Harley Quinn. They're not going to be, oh, you want your own psychologist? You want Harley Quinn to come in? Yes, we're going to have, no, none of that. You do have, you would have somebody trying to break him out, but it doesn't work. And we now have the confessions of the Joker. Still, once again, we're getting an insight into his mind. And we find out he is a genius. We do find out that he popped, but he never went insane. He was proven to be not insane. His plans tell you he's not insane. The words that he told his henchmen, that I always win, shows you that he knows what he's been doing all this time. So they do find him guilty. And finally, we see we've got the last scene in my head. And once again, like I said, someday I'm going to have to write this out into a real story. The last scene in my head, he is being led. He's going to have the lethal injection. And he looks around. Joker looks around and he says, where is he? You can't kill me without him in the room. And of course, Batman appears, almost as if he's been there all this time. And the Joker says, well, what are you going to do? He says, what are you going to do about this? Aren't you going to stop them? And he says, you've always saved me before. You will not let me die. If you let me die, it's just the same as you killing me. And in this case, he says, if you let the people of Gotham shoot these poisons into me, it's just the same as you're killing me. And we see the Batman smile, and he turns around and he says, I can live with that. Then he walks out of the room, and we hear, go for line one. And that's the way the story ends. I did forget that I actually had him say something to the reporter before, where he says, when he says that killing would be easier and I would become more of a ruthless, more brutal, it would become the default, and I couldn't live with that. I could, and so it mirrored each other. But that would be my story. That would be a story I would write for the Joker. I got to admit, the Joker's time is up for me. We've seen it. And I'm not saying, you always have to kill them, kill the villains and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, my question was never, should the Batman kill the Joker? That answer is no, all the time. Because Batman should not only be fighting for the soul of Gotham, but his own. It's the whole thing. I mean, we saw it in the movie. We saw it in the cartoons. I am the Knight. I am vengeance. I am Batman, that kind of thing. So he never wants to go crossing that line. He is very, very close to becoming Frank Castle, but he's not. And he should never become Frank Castle. So this is always about Batman's soul. It's always about the soul of Gotham. Joker should have been done away with by the people of Gotham through a fair trial, a judgment, and an execution. And so I always thought that's what you're arguing about. You're not arguing should Batman kill the Joker. You should be arguing why hasn't Gotham led to that? Why haven't they found the death penalty and so on and so forth? Let me get some comments here, and hello to everybody, all 6 of you.
Well, good afternoon or evening, everyone.
And hello to Dom, who popped in while I started off. Meyer always had odd takes, even in his sane days, especially when it came to his movie reviews. Channel Splatter, I'd never liked that. It was one of those things where I don't know. It just felt false to me, the whole Splatter Delgado thing. Anyway, Joker 76 classic run. I have the omnibus, by the way. I know it's one of those that went up. I shouldn't tell you how much it's worth. My wife's going to insist that I sell it, but I am so glad I got that before it blew up. It is such a great series. It's got all the Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil stuff, and then it's got the entirety of the Joker run, including the one that didn't get published because of the implosion. Let's see. We've got, if I were to think of a fitting ending for the Joker, it would have him die by his own hand, like Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, like he made a mistake. I would, as you just found out, I would give Gotham their due. I would let Gotham pull the switch, basically. I don't know if it was intentional, but thumbnail makes it look like you cannot write because if I wrote, here's what happened. I fell asleep and I was going to do better. But I was like, okay, I want rocky letters, like a mountainous thing, if I wrote, and instead it was bleeding letters. And the placement of the one Joker, it makes it look like if I rot. So yeah. Let's see. And if it were to happen, I'd like to believe it would be like a scene in Batman vs. Dracula where Joker falls into the water, gets electrocuted alive by his electric head buzzer. I would like to see his henchman. That would be another story. A Joker henchman finally does him in. I think that actually, doesn't that happen in Brian Azzarello's Joker story or something? No, that's based on a henchman, but I would like to see a henchman just get the drop on him. Joker goes to kill him, and the henchman realizes that Joker's not the only person with a gun in the room. The Joker, to me, was always a direct allegory to Lucifer in Paradise Lost, says Rhaegar. I never read it, so I cannot speak intelligently at all, actually, these days, much less to the story of Paradise Lost. Let's see. The real question is, will people believe Joker is dead? He's died so many times from day one in Batman issue #1. He seemingly dies, comes back later. I would like it to be pointed out that he didn't die. How about, like, there are some where it's like, okay, like, how do you bring back the Green Arrow? When they killed off Ollie Quinn, they blew him the fuck up. There are certain things I would like to be pointed out when it comes to the resurrection of certain characters. Green Arrow can't be brought back in any way, shape, or form, except for like, look, he's a butterfly. His body was blown up. One of my favorite lines about this was talking about the death of Elektra. Elektra went through the whole process, and she was buried. And Peter David was asked, what do you think is going to happen with Elektra now that they brought her? What is Elektra going to do now that they brought her back? And Peter David said, well, she went through the process. So she was, oh, goodness gracious, what do you call it? Where they look at all the organs and everything. There's a word for it. Autopsy. Thank you. She went through an autopsy. They take out Yeah, they take out all the individual organs and everything, and they're not too careful about how they put them back. So Peter David went, she's going to slosh. You know? I would like that kind of thing to be talked about when it's comes to the resurrection of some of these characters, or have it explained how they didn't die. It just appeared that way. But if they're buried and they didn't die, then they're dead of asphyxiation. Gotham is run by a socialist goober. That's why he gives up. But anyway, that was my story idea. That was my story idea for the Joker. I do apologize also for the thumbnail, because we were getting close to showtime, and I was like, uh-oh. I asked Dom, I completely forgot who you were going to talk about. And it was like, okay, we got 2 minutes, go, click. And then like, as I put the thumbnail in and we're ready to go, Dom goes, oh, Karma and the New Mutants. So Dom, I give you the floor here so you can tell everybody your idea that you would have to brighten up, revive, and or just make an awesome New Mutant / Karma story.
Well, I mean, where to begin? I'm sure a lot of people know. I'm sure a lot of people know like who the each of the New Mutants are, or like they're the next generation, right, of X-Men. But they start, but when they formed like in the beginning through the hand of Chris Claremont, like they were able to forge their own identity, even because yeah, like they may be maybe considered the junior X-Men team. Thinking like each much like their predecessors, they each have their own like own backstories and like temperaments that are different from each other's. But in spite of their differences, like they learn how to work together as well as like getting to know each other like better as time went on, where they develop well like close friendships amongst each other, as well as romances. And of course, later on, like circumstances happen which cause the founding members of the New Mutants to be the founding members of X Force, where like once Cable like takes over the team as the new mentor. What? But however, I mean, one of the founding members like of the New Mutants that didn't join them like in that transition is Karma. And the Karma, like she is, as to say like she's been through like a rough patch, it would be a major like understatement. How her first like how her and her family in this case like her little brother and sister like they came to the States after like she fought off her twin brother because he was using his mutant powers or like for ill intentions along with their uncle, and he was part of a criminal organization like after the events of the Vietnam War, and, Karma and her brother and sister like they were like amongst the people that were called, if I'm correct, the boat people, those that were escaping from the Viet Cong and the Khmer Rouge.
Yeah, I've heard him refer to that.
Yeah, the boat people. Yeah, but
Yeah.
let's see. But what makes like Karma like exceptional is with her mutant ability. Yeah, she's a psychic, but with her she can possess people. And when she faced off her brother, her like she absorbed his essence into her, and she buried him deep like within herself like for years. And and because she is like the oldest like of the New Mutants, like she was placed as a de facto leader of the team while also acting as an assistant like to Charles Xavier. And like and during the days of the New Mutants, during a mission, like everyone thought Karma died. Right, but it turns out she didn't. What actually happened to her like in the aftermath of that mission, she ended up being possessed by Amal Farouk, the Shadow King, because he's not only known to be a powerful sidekick as well as having a rather gluttonous appetite. Well, she became a fatty, And that revelation of her still being alive while also pretty much being a puppet of the Shadow King by continuing like his criminal organization like was a shock to everyone. But it's thanks to them, like Karma was able to excuse me, she was able to break free from the Shadow King. And of course, like she was like devastated, even though like she did not commit those acts like she was still because like she was on the back of she was like the passenger like of her own body, but Shadow King like still committed them like through her hands. So like if and so she pretty much like went in a period where well she distanced herself from the New Mutants until like she went through a journey. She protected this young girl and her life through like bandits and other enemies. But in that journey, the little girl was not only kept saved like by Karma, but she was able like to it was like to shred off like the excess weight. uh, uh, excuse me, the excess weight from the Shadow King and like slim back down to who she was. But again, as mentioned earlier, she didn't join she didn't join like the rest of her friends in forming the X Force. She instead like went about doing her own thing until like they reunited with each other like in the later later run of X Force where the team like ended up like going on a cross country road trip. And there was some changes with Karma where previously like she was like reserved but when I meet her like she's very outgoing, extroverted. Well, also I noticed that she knows like more things about her than the initial one thing about her, which as seen like later in a in a mini series with Kitty. Kitty, oh she came out like as gay. Yeah, she's
Who
attracted to
didn't?
women. Yes, but the interesting thing is, like, but there weren't hints of karma like, of swinging that way, or even swinging both ways, being attracted like to men and women. Or because like that was like a recent development, and like when the next
Of
writer of
course.
X Force like came in. So so what? So like my story is, and yeah, like they it may like may like gain some ire from the quote unquote community, but who the heck cares? So my story that involves Karma and the rest of New Mutants and Force it involves well like her brother being the next one and not only taking control of her body, but he actually influenced her as time went on, which actually explains why she suddenly like become suddenly started becoming attracted to women, because that's not really her. Those traits didn't come from her naturally. It came from her brother, and the reason for that is the Muir Island saga when the Shadow King has taken over Muir Island through Legion.
Okay.
And in the Muir Island saga, like the X-Men and their splinter groups, like they all converged for like in that moment, like to face off the Shadow King because he was using David Legion, Charles Xavier, and Gabriel Haller's son as his new puppet. So because of the rampant like psychic energy that was emanating like, from the Shadow King, it act it awakened like Karma's twin brother deep within her. Now, of course, like because they buried him like within her life for decades. Like he couldn't really exert control over Karma. So over the years, he actually been biding his time, and also it's implied, but it does become more explicit that he was influencing Karma's actions as time went on, and he's actually the reason why she didn't join the rest of her friends in forming X Force. So eventually, so so as time goes on. Car Karma actually starts having blackouts. Like doing things that normally isn't her. So at first first like she's in a daze, not sure what's happening. But during her urban union like with the their friends of the New Mutants and X Force, and as they decided to go on a mission to take off like a familiar or obscure member of the rogue story, like she actually starts losing herself like once again like during the mission, and her brother starts to exert more control, and everyone was taken aback because like they know that's not how their friend was normally acts, and one of the people that discovers that Karma is being controlled by her twin brother is Danny Moonstar because like they have a close friendship akin to sisters. That way before Danny could tell the others, Karma's twin brother actually knocks her out and imprisons her in her own mind. Like so the secret doesn't come out.
Oh, okay.
No.
Uh,
No, I thought just in case like if you have any questions.
no. I'm listening. I'm listening in. I'm listening.
Yeah. So, all right. Karma's brother imprisons Danny, and at first, the reason why she's put in that state is because of the result of the enemy. Right? But Karma's brother, by you, starts to like exert more of his influence like onto X Force, and he essentially wants to continue like where the Shadow King left off, like in the Mirror Island saga. Like he wants to like be like the head like of a of a psychic network where he can use not just the New Mutants and X Force, but the other like X-Men splinter groups, where they act as his own enforcers. Yeah, but well, well before he can even succeed, see like X Force, and the other members like of the X Men and their splinter groups, like they were able to those that were not affected by Karma's brother's influence, those that were able to take him on and the individual sidekick members like use their influences to go inside like Karma's like mindscape, help face off her brother, and actually expunged him from her body for good by recreating a new body. Right, so he can actually finally be arrested for his crimes and ensure that he doesn't become a menace to humans and mutants alike. But of course, this leaves a profound effect like on Karma because because she thought she had really like got to know like more of herself. But all those years, it's actually she was an unknowing and unwilling puppet of her brother. Like she become like complacent like in complacent like in her time of peace. Please. And but in the end, and like they and like they everyone well her friends like other New Mutants and X-Force like they console her and reassure that they will get through it just like they always do. And but there is also like some humor where Danny asks her like
well,
that
yeah.
question. Asks her that question like in the past like did you actually find Sam cute? And her reply was yes. Yes, and they just like moved on
That
from
would
there.
and that would of course address the fact that she did back in the day. Yeah, I miss the old New Mutants stories and everything. But then again, I miss the 1980s feel of comics anyway.
Yeah.
I have not been quiet about the fact that I've basically turned off the modern stuff. But yeah, that sounds pretty good.
And of
There
course,
are.
like I said, well, I
Oh,
bring
go
the
ahead.
ire are like of the gays, including like the new fans. You guys are like, no, like I'm actually utilizing like what happened before, but well, in a way that actually it's a twist like that works. Once because
Hmm.
I'm utilizing like what has come before, but they're showing like in a new light, like essentially recontextualize like what happened to Karma before like she came back and reingratiated herself like with the X-Men and then like and the teams, especially when she actually became a teacher. You know, like her and the other founding members of the New Mutants and X Force, they became teachers of different junior X-Men teams.
Hmm.
And when people they'll say like, you were oh so you're that's why you're like well, it's not really a term like on ganger like I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That like if that was like I understand like uh, why she was like written like in that way like years later and not this not
Well,
this like her coming out like didn't even occur like in the 2010s. Like, it occurred like in the early 2000s.
well, that was something that was being beaten around anyway. There were a lot of if you could not have two women friends. I mean, this is what happened with Harley and Ivy, which, by the way, the one that's popping into my head now is a Harley and Ivy story. Um, and the main reason is because I think Harley Quinn is she's not only has she fallen, I actually don't think Harley Quinn is as popular as people think she is. But I
Well,
think
new
one of the
Harley Quinn.
reasons is no Harley Quinn. I mean, she was
Really
popular
Harley
for a
in her
while, but
entirety.
name the really successful Harley Quinn project.
Well, the last one was in the self-titled Harley Quinn during in the 2000s,
Two
which was the
zero
art.
zeros 25 years ago.
Yeah, 25 years
Um,
ago.
I, I think one of the
And
reasons is
even
they ruined
she
her
was
character.
written like well back then during Gotham
Uh-huh.
City Sirens.
Hmm. So I think that she actually hasn't been written well in the last 25 years. So I think it's because they don't know what character they have in modern day, much like and it did start in the 2000s, where it's like if you have two women and they're friends, they got to be fucking. The worst of it is when, and it was Greg Pak who said the women of the Amazon of Themyscira were lesbians. Why not? They all live together, right? I mean,
But that's not the case, nor was it
it's like a
established as
men's
such.
prison. It's like a men's prison. Every man is gay because they're all stuck there with each other. I said, but that becomes gross when you bring in Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman was a little girl. So these women were raising Wonder Woman thinking, I can't wait for her to get to of age so I could scissor her. You know, I mean, it's just it's a gross mindset that they had in the 2000s and the modern where every female friendship has to be a sexual one. Let's see
Indeed.
what we have. Oh, now Rhaegar's got the tone for the Zero Hero Angel. Hot chicks become lesbians is a ancient trope at this point, says Rhaegar. Yep. Mad Love is, in my opinion, the definitive origin for Harley Quinn. I hate the fact that they tried to make her an actual psychologist when in Mad Love you find that she kind of screwed her way into graduating. Um,
Hmm.
I like that. It just shows right away she has no scruples, and this is what kind of the door was always open for her um, to be influenced by the Joker. So
Yeah.
I was okay with that. Yeah. But yeah, I actually have a
Let's
story for
go
her.
back with
Well, go ahead.
I'm going to tie it all back like to my proposed storyline for Karma, the New Mutants, and X Force. Therefore, like you can, you, that's the reason why the reason why that's been like brewing in the back of my mind for a while because
Mhm.
I was like her essentially being a jailer for a twin brother. I'm like that's not a story, not really a an arc. I'm like
Yeah.
that hasn't really been utilized in years. And the fact and and the fact that the possibility like if she's her guard is let down and like the barriers like she had created in order to keep her brother quiet like is broken or like through circumstances her being
Hmm.
being a prisoner of the Shadow King. Okay, and him coming back, which have been taking over Legion, which initiated the Mirror Island saga. Like those factors were contributed in not only the degradation of those barriers, but it would also reawaken like Karma's brother, and he would start to subtly influence her before like he has actually built up like enough psychic energy to completely take control of her. Yeah, if you want to bring, yeah, you can like bring, you can play around with the idea that maybe that maybe
I
that Karma she may act she may actually be biased swinging both ways, but she prefers dudes. But because, uh, or
because
you
of
just
the
have to
yeah.
say, yeah, or you could establish that no, she either like have her establish that she that play around with yeah, she may actually be bi, but prefers men, and or actually I'll continue with her original characterization that she was established as straight like she expressed interest in guys and not towards like the same
Well,
sex. Because
one thing that just
you can like take that like how you will, but it actually
Mhm.
brings up like an issue that does occur in real life, like kids like who were abused like by men and women alike, and because like they didn't like react negatively, like they think that oh I must be this type of gay. Like, but in reality,
one thing I would like
they're just going through like unresolved trauma.
one thing that popped into my head as far as like the Shadow King and everything. I don't think they needed the Shadow King to make Karma evil for a little bit or whatever. You have her absorbing her brother, and how long can a soul last without its body?
Hmm.
So I would have it where she ended up kind of not maybe not going evil, but going darker, and perhaps she did do something wrong, and you find out that the influence is because his soul has died within her, and she has this thing, this almost like a just this death inside of her, and it's influencing her, and she's doing all these things. She's lashing out, she's controlling people for her own ill-gotten gains and all that kind of stuff. And you come to find out, maybe through somebody with a little bit of mysticism or something, that she has a dead soul within her and it needs to be extracted. But
Ooh, that can actually no, that can actually like enhance like the story the story arc that I proposed for her.
mhm. Yeah, I think that's one way to go about it, because every time you have this, it's like somebody's. Oh, I get it when it's like Rogue. She's sharing. Well, no, 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 no. It is okay. No, no, no. Calm down. It's fine. It's just an engine. Somebody's out there revving an engine, and it's causing him to be all nervous. He's about to flip around everywhere. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. There you go. There you go, little man. Um, but with like Rogue, it's memories. She's absorbed the memories, and I think they only really addressed it in one really good issue where
Yeah.
she's going around reacting and interacting with people of Carol Danvers passed.
Yeah, because
But it would be
really,
the same.
really, she not only took only mimicked like Carol's memories and echoes of her personality. She absorbed her essence into her, and
Yep.
she was housed in Rogue's body for years until the two of them finally got separated, and Carol went back into her own body after the X-Men crossed through the Siege Perilous.
Now, it's being asked, has Greg Pak ever read the George Perez Wonder Woman run, or is he reading the context? I think he is. But Greg Pak is a
You mean Greg?
or
You mean Greg Rucka?
Greg Rucka, thank you. Greg Rucka is a lesbian fetishist. We know this. He will turn any woman into a lesbian.
Like Renee Montoya.
Yeah, that's just one of them. But Greg Rucka is kind of a sicko when it comes to that, you know. No, there's no woman that won't sleep with another woman. And it has nothing to do with anything other than proximity. A woman is next to another woman, therefore they must eat each other. You know, it's a weird it's a weird thing. And then when you bring it up, you're the one that's the bad guy. You hate this, you hate that, blah blah blah. No, Greg Ruck is a dumbass
Right.
when it comes to women. He thinks all of them are lesbians. How is he not seen as the perv on this one? Go figure.
Right.
I don't know,
Right.
kids.
Yeah. And plus, and the storyline that I proposed was like for Karma and the new mutants and X-Force, like it is not a screed against gay people. That's not it at all.
It doesn't sound
Oh,
like it.
it shows,
It sounds to me like it's actually a tale of why. You know, I mean, you do have a person that's being influenced by other thoughts, other feelings.
in this
that
case,
may not be her own. Yeah.
In this case, it's her twin brother.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So anyway, guys, this is a video series I used to do. And granted, usually we do it as videos, and I'd rather do it as videos so we could add in the visuals and everything. But this was kind of put together. We talked about it, but we really didn't put it together. Granted, I do not sleep. I really don't. We'll do our show at night. I'll get off here at 1 o'clock. I don't fall right to sleep. So maybe 2:30. I finally, lights out, trying to shut my eyes. I'm probably down by 3 o'clock, and I'm up again at 4:30. And so I grab sleep where I can. And I heard my phone ding dong, and it was, hey, are we going to be doing this? So I was like, oh shit. And I got up and got to this together. I would like to be a little more prepared almost for the next one, which I really want to talk about Harley Quinn. Yeah. Like do have some visual aids, maybe a storyboard or something, or a comic book. Let's fill it in, that kind of thing. The weird thing about
this, like the storyline, like for example, like the storyline I proposed was like for Karma and the rest of the New Mutants and X-Force. Like that has to be further refined before that video can even be released with the visual aids. And you and I, we can like workshop it so it can be properly up to snuff.
I was just about to say this, which might go against that. Not like, oh, bad idea. But the weird thing about when me and my brother, by the way, Jack's out of surgery, and they were able to save his leg. They were able to save his leg. They were talking like it was a foregone conclusion. His leg is gone. He got, what was that called? MRSA, which is a flesh-eating disease. You can actually get it from hospitals. And he's going to look like a shark took a bite out of his leg, unfortunately. But they were able to save it. He's going to be able to walk. Not well, but he's going to be able to walk. So all that's pretty good. I now lost my train of thought. When me and my brother were doing these originally, when we were doing the If I Wrote, it was very much whatever the hell, whenever the hell. it it's not so much something that we could put. I don't even know if I do have it up on the thing where it's like, um, commission, and if I wrote video, it's different this way because it's more creative. It's more something where when you're inspired to write a particular story, you go in there. So it was never one that we intended to be weekly. I mean, we didn't intend to be 8 years between videos, but um, it's just weird that way because you have to have that inspiration. You have to have the story that makes you go, oh yeah, or maybe you're reading it wrong, like when I was reading Riri Williams and they were fucking up the character. I couldn't believe they had this character. I don't believe there are any bad characters. There are just bad writers for them.
And editors.
And editors, yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, you have to be able to tell your bad writers no. If you have Fire and Ice and you put them in Smallville, thank you. I was trying to think of where Superman was raised. In no way, shape, or form would Martha Kent ever go to a drag show. So those writers need to be told no. There are no bad characters. Fire and Ice, Martha Kent, excellent characters. You can write a really good story with them. I would probably have it be like an escort mission where they have to save Superman's mom. They found themselves hanging out with Superman's mom. Wait, Clark Kent is Superman? And now bad guys, are going after this. They have to make sure that his mother stays alive because he's off planet. That would be an excellent story. Going to a fucking drag show, not a great story for Martha Kent.
No, it's not.
So yeah, bad writers. I mean, are you telling me that you cannot come up with a female Fury story that doesn't involve a bikini bake sale? But then again, why would you? But yeah, it's just weird. Versus prevalent in hospitals. Okay. No, go ahead.
Well, it's like Pat Morita said when playing Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid series. When talking to Daniel, there are no bad students, only bad teacher. The teacher say, exactly. Student do, and that same philosophy and rule applies to what's been happening within the facets of entertainment, not just in comic books.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the big thing. Any character could be written well. Most characters aren't. I read I got it at Ollie's. It was Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan. They had a hardcover. I wouldn't call it an omnibus, but it did have like the first 12 issues, and the first 6 I thought were brilliant. I actually thought, wow, this is fun stuff. It dealt with a family. It dealt with a neighborhood. She was a teenager. And then it went off the rails when she joined the Champions and she's like, aha, I'm going to China. No, you're not. You got homework to do, Lassie. You got to get home for dinner by 5. You're not going to China and coming back in time to do your homework and have dinner. And and that's my whole thing as far as Ms. Marvel is concerned. Ms. Marvel could be the new Spider-Man for Marvel. Absolutely. Now, forget Miles Morales. That Miles Morales is just a race swap so Brian Michael Bendis's daughter feels better. He's not a swap.
Unless I forget Riri.
Yeah, same thing. And isn't Naomi the same thing as well? But point being is Kamala Khan
Naomi is the same thing.
Written well, Kamala Khan is the spiritual successor to Spider-Man. Because she is young. She would be stuck. She would be held back by her age. Now, granted, they took Peter Parker out of high school and into college really quick in order to give him that much more freedom. And you could do that with Kamala Khan, but she still should be the friendly neighborhood shapeshifter or growth or whatever her power is.
No, I mean her shapeshifter, and along with like elasticity, which makes sense with her. But if you look into like how Kamala came to be, and Jubilee Wilson, she actually actually written this out like in a blog of her own website. But when she
Yeah.
was making Kamala, like how like the reason like how and why her powers were awakened as they did, like after the events of Infinity with the detonation of the Terrigen Mist bomb. The reason why she developed her powers is that is because Kamala, she was inspired, like her hero, one of her heroes is Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. Well,
Yep.
that's the reason why she developed the powers of elasticity, but also shape shifting. Because Reed, as Mr. Fantastic, is her favorite hero, and when she like brought this up to Marvel, like they pretty much like had her change it to no, like change her hero from Mr. Fantastic to Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, because
Yeah.
it explains why she didn't develop the energy projection manipulation powers and flight like Miss Marvel, because that what she wasn't her well, one of her favorite heroes. Her favorite one of her favorite heroes is Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, something else just popped into my head and then popped out. Damn it. It was story ideas
Yeah,
and
but
the how
I
I
remember
wrote.
yeah, I remember watching that episode of If I Wrote for Marvel. Like you were able to fix her, not only like fix her as a character, but also you did an episode for America Chavez. Yeah,
By the
because
way, the Kamala Khan video got banned for a while because I suggested that she fight the terroristic Muslims. You never see um, moderate Muslims go out and protest and go out and fight the extremists. You just don't see it.
hmm
And I
yeah, you
thought,
don't see it at
well,
all.
why don't we do that? There are bad guy Muslims out there. So why not have them be the villains? And my whole thing is that her brother gets into an altercation with some white people, and he kind of just he gets
She
recruited.
fell in with the wrong crowd,
Right,
and
he gets
this has
recruited,
happened
and
before like
yeah,
and time and again.
yeah, and so I actually made Islam the bad guy in the story, and YouTube banned it for a while. They wouldn't allow it. So
Yeah,
I had to
they couldn't accept the
retitle and
uncomfortable
everything.
truth.
Yeah. No, no. Um, but yeah, please by all means, guys, go check out those older videos. I'm actually getting recommended my old videos. So that's kind of interesting. Some of them
It's
I'm like,
funny,
oh wow, that
really.
was actually pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty good. I want to either repost it or, in the case of a live stream, I got a live stream with Comics Division and Feisty uh, Redhead, the Feisty fan. Um,
Yeah.
and I want to cut that down into 30-minute segments and release it. It's funny how all that is still relevant. Anyway, guys, what'd you think? Let us know in the comments. Did you like the stories we came up with, the story ideas we came up with? Would you like this to go further? When this is posted, please let us know in the comments. It's not going to stick in my head in the chat and everything. Plus, it seems like the chat died at 9:31. So the last 3 minutes, it's been nothing. And yeah, if you have any ideas, oh, hey, try this character,
Even
try
just
that character.
even,
Don't just
and
leave like
even post suggestions.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Even
if you have a suggestion,
post suggestions on how to like enhance it, as well as find like the pictures that we have proposed for the characters that we have discussed today.
tell tell us why you think this character needs a rewrite. Like, what are they doing wrong now? And um, maybe it'll inspire something. Maybe it'll inspire something. We could do another one if you like that. That being said, thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed my Joker story and his New Mutant story. And sometimes I'm sure there's going to be something where we hear something or the after conversation and everything is going to make us go, huh, I've got an idea. You know what I think is weird? I have no idea for Legion of Superheroes or Teen Titans. Those are my two favorite teams of all time. No idea. Nothing. I actually was. How would I write the Legion of Superheroes? I have no fucking clue.
Well, you can actually continue like where they left off, like pre-new 52, and actually do something what Jeff Johns Johns had initially planned out, because he actually plays Saturn Girl, or like in an asylum. No, because like she saw the alterations that Dr. Manhattan has done to the DC universe. Whereas when it was supposed to be restored to what it was like after
Yeah.
Flashpoint.
Dudes, I got to tell you something. I don't really feel the whole Dr. Manhattan thing. I know that's what he was going for, but I think from the time we saw the Button in the DC Rebirth, and then of course the Button 2-issue miniseries, and then we had the Doomsday Clock, and that was so fucked up with its release schedule. It had never gelled that Dr. Manhattan was supposed to have recreated the DC universe. It never gelled with me.
Well, not
recreated. It's a great side.
Altered.
Either way,
he altered the DC universe.
The point being is, I think it was so mishandled. It never actually felt like a thing to me. Meh. It's a great Elseworlds. It's a great Elseworlds story, but it never really felt like this should be canon. It's kind of like MCU Phase 5. I think one of the reasons why nobody dug on Marvel during Phase 5, it went nowhere. At least in Phase 1, you had Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Thor had his sequel right away, Captain America has his sequels right away. All Phase 5 did was set up for future shit that never came. It was never... There was never a present in Phase 5. And I think the Doomsday Clock, I think the whole Dr. Manhattan thing was something that was always going to happen, but it never did. It's kind of the worst bits of the Chris Claremont X-Men run, where we would set something up and then we forget he set it up. And then 40 years later, when nobody gives a fuck anymore, he finally decides to finish it.
Yep.
But that's the way I looked at that. Let's see. Had any cleaned up the sub feed because most of them don't watch? No. It still says I have 18,000 subs, even though viewership does not show that. They're definitely... YouTube doesn't share videos to subs, which I think is stupid.
Very.
If they did, I think actually there would be more views. If they want to put the videos out there, but they only put them out there if strangers are watching. They want to get strangers in. And by that, I mean non-subs. They want new subs, but they're not taking care of the subs that are already there. I've got 18,000 subs. Share my videos to 18,000 people and let them decide whether they're not going to watch it or not. But YouTube doesn't do that. YouTube, it'll be like, okay, now you got to hit notifications. Oh, well, they don't share the videos with everybody who clicks on notifications. They got to click on all notifications. And then even still, they don't share it with all the people who put in all notifications. Because if that were true, according to my analytics, they would be sharing this video out to about 10,000 people who are not watching the video. So, one, I do know shadow banning does exist. Two, I do know that there's an audience for my stuff because I just reposted a video that did 500 or 600. And this, like I said, it was a repost. So I do know there's an audience out there. It just needs to be shared. And if they had, the only thing I ask is share the videos with those people who chose to sub and let them decide, are they going to still watch or not? And if they don't, maybe they'll turn off. I have had to go through my own subs and go, wait, I never watch videos from, oh my gosh, I'm still subbed to Unranked Chevron. You guys might, for those of you who haven't been around, he was the guy that was with me on the debate with Ethan Van, not Klein, the artist. Skyver. Thank you, Ethan Van Skyver. Yeah. He was really good. He was really good. He was one of us who actually wrote scripts out, made sure that he sounded intelligent. Was kind of moderate,
articulate.
Though. Yeah, very articulate.
Yeah.
For a white guy. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird the way they don't send the videos to the subs. If they did, yeah, of course the viewership would be there. Unranked Chevron, I haven't seen him. He hasn't been doing this in years. Yeah. I just realized today that there's channels I'm sub to that I didn't actually subscribe. Oh wow. Oh, going ahead, sorry.
Oh, well, besides Unranked Chevron, like another regular of the channel, like range from like just some guy before his fall from grace to Elijah the Aura Man and Mr. E 2099.
Love him. By the way,
Mr.
E,
like,
I do want to. I want to send a message because I want to know what's going. Yeah, I want to know what's going on with him. He was such a. Oh my gosh, you wanted my favorite. Two things that happened with Mr. E 2099. There is on this channel, and I highly recommend it. We did a Stan Lee eulogy. We all got together.
I remember that,
and we told what Stan Lee meant to us. This is after he died, and Mr. E 2099 will break your heart. He gave the, in my opinion, the best. He just broke it down, and yeah, you could hear it. You could hear the love for the man in Mr. E 2099's voice. Yeah, love him. The second one was I used to put the link to my live streams on leftist comic channels, YouTube, and all that kind of stuff. And their Twitter.
I remember that.
Come join us. Debate this with us. You're going to be treated respectfully. Come on in. One time, two guys showed up. One of them was a black guy, and he started off. I mean, he was almost opened the door, racist. And Mr. E 2099 laid him the fuck out.
Yes, he did, and it was glorious.
It was wonderful the way this man did. And I've seen occasionally he would come on camera. The dude is effing huge. But no, he did it verbally. But yeah, that was one of my favorite times. Let's see. So many dead old school YouTuber channels, says Hero Angel. Yep. Once in a blue moon, I'll see a video from Weaponized Nerd Rage. Yeah, I don't even know what happened to him, man. I love Wet. It's one of those things. He's gone off to. It's like Comics Division. I know Comics Division is doing his own thing over there. He sprung off of Gary's channel, and he's doing pretty well for himself. But when I've jumped on a couple of times, and I'm pretty sure, like whatever they're talking about Friday, if I send a link, hey, can I jump in? He'll let me. And it's immediate. It's like we'll never stop talking. For a while, this channel was me, Weaponized Nerd Rage, and Comics Division. And
as well as Nerd Wonder.
Captain Frugal. Another person I miss chatting with. Nice, freaking nice as hell guy. And by the way, I got to see him without that helmet.
Nice.
Nerd Wonder, yeah, another one. But Weaponized Nerd Rage, for a while it was me, Weaponized Nerd Rage, Comics Division, and Frugal. It was for a long time. And it was really cool having them. It was a lot of fun. I always thought it was a lot of fun when you have a Bones McCoy in like Comics Division, and with Weaponized Nerd Rage, a Spock with Comics Division, and then you have the center. If you have these, I really saw that with Icon, Dalton, and me, because Icon was definitely way off. Dalton speaks like Mr. Spock all the time, and yeah, I thought that was pretty fun. I checked Dash's channel, and he hasn't made a video in 2 years, says Austin. But boom, those guys were totally that they really were. The one you're talking about, the two liberals I let in. The black guy was a little bit better, but the white dude we treated him well. Everything was fine. We had a debate, and he was like, "You're a fucking Nazi," and then he clicked off. What the fuck was that all about? Seriously, I don't know.
Right.
I think some people are just not cut out for a career in broadcasting, or they get burned out fast. It's very easy to do, Rhaegar. I still sometimes like I don't want to go on. I just okay, let's do it. That happens more often than not before I go on a live stream. I'm like, oh gosh. And it's not because I don't want to do it. It's because, like, especially like if I'm doing a live stream and I don't really know what to talk about. It can go one of two ways. One, where it's like, hey guys, blah, 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 blah. You guys mentioned something, we're off to the races. And then another where it's like, hey, and nobody's bringing up anything.
Yeah.
I gotta come up. Yeah, and then I feel like I'm rambling. Yeah.
Great Admiral, yeah, Donna Troy. I still remember her.
Let's see. What are we talking about? Nerd Wonder, Donna Troy, and there used to be third female. I can't. Well, Feisty Redhead is one of them.
Yes, Feisty Redhead.
She was big for a while with us, and then she got mad. Maranya, of course. Feisty Redhead got mad at us because we're Donald Trump supporters, and she believed that if you're voting for Donald Trump, you hate her because she has medical issues. I don't even. That is one of those. You're getting your news from. You're getting your news from Twitter. Stop. Or TikTok in this case. But let's see.
Yeah, but really, what's one of the best aspects of this channel is besides all of us like coming from different demographics, like political persuasions and otherwise, there's a showcase of true diversity of thought and freedom of expression, as it was like back then before the rise of censorship and political correctness in the late 2000s, which continued on in 2010s, and even in the New Roaring 20s until later we're experiencing a return to form in our culture. And people finally are standing up to the nonsense. And one of which, besides holding like the publishers, the creators, and the like accountable for their actions, but they've been voting with their wallets.
Yeah.
Not to mention, showcasing people, works media yesteryear, that are worth their time and patronage, but also like new works that are objectively good, made by creators who have a passion for the medium of sequential arts, gaming, filmmaking, you name it. Like those people are the ones that people should like highlight, like, and support.
Cleveland Brown was all right. But he was also a troll. Like he would try to get my ire up by saying, like I would say something. What he's really saying is, which is I don't like that. I'm 55 years old. I say even then when I was only 45, I say what's on my mind. There's no what he's really saying. What he's really saying are the words coming out of his mouth. That's the way it is. So yeah, I didn't after a while, but I don't know what happened to him. Rhaegar saying, no, Dom, diversity means what your melanin count is, not what you think outside the boxes. One thing I think is funny, because somebody actually said yes to this. I asked once, is a room full of black people diverse? Is that diversity? Yes. No, it isn't.
No.
And only if you're counting about how they think and how they feel, but it's amazing that actually is true. They actually do believe that so long as it could be a room full of the same color, as long as it's not white, and then it's diverse. Cleveland was doing what that woman did to Jordan Peterson. I know, right? Oh, so what you're saying is, just listen to the fucking words. Yeah. Yeah. No. I've lost a huge audience. By the way, the debate with Ethan Van Sciver, shit ton of the people that followed me said, "Oh, fuck you, I stand with Skyver." Really? How you doing now? Mm-hmm. How you doing? What's his name? Even put me down for a while. Blonde guy. Geeks and Gamers. Blonde guy in Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, Jeremy.
Yeah, there you go. He used to put me down because I spoke out against Ethan Van Sciver during the debate. Any apologies now there, Jeremy? Now that you guys are on the same fucking page, goddamn everything I said came right. It came true. You know, you're gonna have people. You're making it about the creator, not the consumer, the reader. So you're going to have people come and go, I believe exactly what you believe. Take the money and run. You're not going to have that happen. Tell me, let me see. You hated what I said there, Jeremy. How'd that come true or not? You know, I had a lot of people go off on me. A lot of people unsub. A lot of people just leave because I went against Ethan Van Sciver in that debate, and now they're not watching the videos anymore. I mean, you know, the numbers show. I mean, for fuck's sake, we went to 9 viewers tonight. Nobody's returned, but everything that I said at that debate has been proven right already. I would love to at least get an acknowledgement from the people who were putting. By the way, I did on one. Mike. He was talking with oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm Ed Brewer, deep voice, older guy, Hawaii.
Edwin Boyette.
Ed Boyette, yeah. He and Mike were listening into the debate. First of all, Mike was floored by my vulgarity because I was like, "Oh, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this." But they were listening in, and they were, "Who is this guy? He's way off." You know, it's kind of funny. But they actually talked to me about it. Let me see what we got. Look at my list of Marvel DC story ideas I've had for a while. A lot of them trying to retcon the crap that's happened in the 2010s, says Austin. I like Carol Danvers suddenly becoming insufferable because of a psychological switch that lay dormant from when she was stuck in Rogue's head for years. Well, that would work. Ethan and Jeremy are both LOL cows, lol cows. Lol cows. What is a lol cow?
Not a bad idea.
Oh, with with Austin's idea. Yeah, I came here years after the debate. I had no idea about it, says Austin. Jeremy Quartering turned out to be cuck and strikes people's channels. You know what? I do that occasionally. I've banned a couple of trolls. I can't go up against go off on somebody for doing that because sometimes you just have to. I had one guy. I was okay.
He strikes people's channels.
He strikes them. I was thinking blocking them. No, he strikes them. Fuck him. For what? Talking about his videos? Having an opinion? The same thing that he does? I remember one time watching one of his videos and he was like, "Oh, you can't cancel me. You can't do this because if I say something, you're just going to make me more powerful." Haha. Striking channels for taking a bit and going, "Hey, this is what you're saying and this is what you're wrong." It's what happens on YouTube. I mean, there's an entire industry of reactors where all they do is find another person's video and they react to it. I don't mind the people who say something, but I have had people take parts of the video and they just their reaction. Huh. That's not a reaction. Yeah. Tear into the argument. Go after us, do that kind of thing. But that's not a reaction. That's just you taking a part of the video. That's it, So on that, if they did that, then yeah, I get it. They're just playing your video on their channel. Get them, I understand that. But if they're actually doing a reaction where they're listening to your point and then making a counterpoint, if they still strike the channel after that, that's pussy. That is very much being a pussy. Let's see. At least you didn't beg for money to start up a coffee company that doesn't exist. Holy shit, that doesn't exist? I thought it was just one of those things because I wouldn't have begged for money, but I was telling Gail, I said, maybe I should do this coffee thing. Maybe I should do something like that. Put a little extra, coin in the pocket, do something like that. But I wouldn't fucking, it would exist, right? I thought it was kind of like one of those t-shirt things. You put the design out there and they keep making it for you, right? I thought that was the whole thing. You come up with your own flavors and this coffee company makes it with your title on it and boom, there you go. It's kind of like one of those. I don't know. I wanted to like EVS Comics, but after knowing that he suffered a mental breakdown, I'm not touching him with a 10-foot pole. He suffered a mental breakdown? I did not know that. Banning trolls equals striking people's channels. Does it? Because I had one guy, once again, for a while, I don't mind. I mean, look, he would say something, people would react, okay, fine. But there was a couple of days where it was the same comment on every book, every person, everything. And I was like, no. And I said, don't do this. You're spamming. And that's different. That's different than just being a regular troll. You're spamming people. Stop that. Plus, one thing I always have in my comments is argue the person, or argue the point, not the person.
Yeah, argue the idea.
The idea is bad, but there were people who, oh, you're a dumb motherfucker. And no, sorry, I don't have that. Oh, he's saying not the same thing. He got exposed. I ended up reading both the 90s and Comicsgate Cyberfrog. They're okay. I prefer the 90s one. His current art is a bit overrated. Okay, here's my problem with the 90s Cyberfrog. I actually did a comic book origins. Once again, go check it out. Go look up. All you got to do is in the search videos, Cyberfrog or comic book origins. I did the comic book origins, the very first appearance of Cyberfrog. And I don't remember if I said this, but one thing I remember about it was everyone reads the same. Every character has the voice of Ethan Van Sciver. Now, this is voice. There's no different characters. They're drawn different, but they don't talk different. They all talk like Ethan Van Sciver, which is just, I mean, it could have been first time writing, You get better as you go. Fine, get it. And it could be done well if it's like a movie. If you ever watch a Woody Allen movie, I love some Woody Allen movies. Everybody speaks like Woody Allen. But if you have a good enough actor, they break away and the characters become different people. But everybody's got the same cadence and the same is Woody Allen. So only in his best movies you'll see people break off. If you watch, there's one with Kenneth Branagh, and he straight up does a Woody Allen impersonation. It's like, no, dude, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But that's what I thought about Cyberfrog. It was okay. It's a 90s. It's a very 90s comic book. It lived and it died right there. Done. If it wasn't for him being coming into our fold here and stealing Comicsgate, I don't think anybody would have mentioned Cyberfrog ever again. It's just so average. It is the flavor of air. It's rice cakes. It just wasn't anything. The art was okay. But back then, that was dime a dozen. Let's see. Oh yeah, EVS was getting high with some people a con and licking your. Oh my god! Why would you fucking do that? How high do you gotta be to lick a fucking urinal?
Right. What I learned about this, I was like, wait, this got to be a joke. But like the more I look into it, the more I learned. Oh no, this actually happened.
They got pictures.
Yes. Rhaegar, nice. You and a couple friends watched Tron Legacy, and to this day, it remains one of the best movies of all time, as well as a solid sequel. But, however, there was already a sequel for Tron made in video game form called Tron 2.0, and it was approved by the creators of Tron and Buena Vista.
Didn't play it. Saw the movies. I even saw Tron Ares, and I think everybody who says it's a horrible movie gives it way too much credit. As much as I just said that the Cyber Frog was bland, that's Tron Ares. It wasn't bad. The special effects were good. It was just empty. It was a very empty movie. Like you could watch it, enjoy it, and forget it during the credits.
Honestly,
It's
a redeeming quality with air. Yeah, well, really, one of the few redeeming qualities like of Tron Ares is the soundtrack done by Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah, let's go with that. Nine Inch Nails are cool. They are a wonderful band from the 90s, and I think they are. I'm glad you like them. I'm glad you like them, sir.
Look, they're so active, and they're not a bad band, and really, as much as people like want to see like Daft Punk, but like come back and make another soundtrack for Tron, like the band, the band themselves, like they amicably disbanded, and they're enjoying their retirement.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Rhaegar was talking about Tron Ares. Yeah, it was it was all right. It was okay. Yeah,
It's fine. It was fine, but people were underwhelmed because like everybody wanted to see a continuation of Sam and Cora's story.
Yeah. It was fun.
Well,
That's all I got to say.
But still, what is still messed up is Disney is like not reaching out to Bruce Boxleitner and reprise his role as Tron because like in the climax of Tron Legacy, like Tron was being restored to who he was like through the Sea of Simulation.
Bruce Boxleitner is 70 fucking years old. I think Tron's one of those. It should have been a one-off, but they did a sequel. Okay, fine. Now they made a trilogy. Let it lay. It's done.
Well, it's more apt to say it's four because again, Tron 2.0 like is the first sequel to Tron. Then Legacy happened, then Ares.
Okay, so there are 3 movies that people know about. Tron 2.0 is a video game. Mainstream don't really know about it, but there's a lot of there are franchises like that, and sadly, sometimes you think about it and go, "Holy shit!" We now live in a world where there are more bad alien movies than there are good alien movies. You know, it's you got to say the same thing about Terminator, right? And I'm one of the few people who actually liked what was that, Dark Fate? I enjoyed it. I should say I didn't love it. I enjoyed it. It's very much like I was. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Really?
I thought yeah. If that movie was,
only a Negan for Walking Dead, but really?
Okay, here's the thing. If Dark Fate lived on its own, it would have been a decent movie. That's in that case. That way, I can enjoy it. For me. And you got to understand, my mind has already done this. I can cut that shit off at number 2. No other sequel exists. Every other movie outside of Terminator and Terminator 2 is a one-off Elseworlds. It's not necessary. It's not needed. Maybe sometimes just for fun, I'll go to 3 because that, of course, ends with the whole war starting. But everything else is an Elseworlds. Number 1 and number 2. Number 3 actually undoes the ending of number 2, so watch it or not, but it's all Elseworlds. The only story you need,
with the 1 and 2, negative done. On the series.
Oh yeah, I absolutely believe that with Terminator. For me, I loved first one, really loved the second one. The third one was fun, and I did enjoy it. The one that took place, I forget what it was called, but the one with Christian
Salvation.
Bale. Salvation. Thank you. It was entertaining. It was a distraction, but it wasn't great. One of the things with all that happened in the first 2 movies, and even the third one, Salvation was dour. Salvation was It just was, it was mopey. So I had that. I was like, yeah, it was good. It was for what it was, but that's the one I probably would revisit second least. Then what was it? Genesis came out. Yeah. Okay, let's read it like it's spelled, boy. But yeah, that one was fucking horrible. That was just, and I wanted it to be good because it had Khaleesi. Good God, will somebody give that girl a movie that's worth a fuck? Because everything outside of Game of Thrones that she has done has not been good. I mean, maybe that Christmas movie was passable at best, right? But Genesis was just god awful. It was god awful. And then here comes Dark Fate, and like I said, entertaining. It was fine. I enjoyed it. I'll stand by that. Is it fantastic?
Not good.
No. Is it great? No. You don't like it? That's fine. And I can see why. But I enjoyed it. That's it. But if I were saying I'm going to watch the Terminator movies, 1 and 2, I'm done. After that, there's not necessary to go through those anymore. Let's see. My bad. I meant they should bring back Olivia Wilde. I think everybody believes that. Let's see. Go up to where we left off. My cousin likes Trent Reznor. I could take or leave him. It was fine. A friend of mine loaned me his Nine Inch Nails collection in the 2000s. And when he returned, he goes, "What do you think?" I said, "I think I like that one song where he starts singing really quiet, and then he builds up a little bit, and then he goes back to singing quiet." That's all of them. That is all of them. I was like, I know, dude, I'm glad you. That's all of them. I'm referring to every fucking Nine Inch Nails song. That's it. No, I'm glad you guys like them. Not my cup of tea. I get shit for Sticks, so I'm going to give you shit for Nine Inch Nails. That guy wrote one song, and he's been riding that fucking horse to movie soundtrack. But yeah, I don't get it. I do not get it with Trent Reznor.
Well, speaking of soundtracks, do you plan on watching the Michael Jackson movie?
Fuck yes. Hell yeah. I'm going to watch both of them. I'm very much looking forward to it this Thursday. I am going to the movies tomorrow to see. Did you guys know there's a what's his name? Spader, Joe Dirt. Blonde hair, short.
You mean David Spade?
Yeah, there's a David Spade.
Oh, yeah, I saw the poster with him and Theo Vaughn. Oh, yeah, Bus Boys.
I'm gonna go see
the poster. It intrigued me, and I'm planning on watching it at my local movie theater.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see that tomorrow, and then afterwards, I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna do a double feature with oh goodness gracious, Breaking Bad guy, the Call Saul. He did. Did a movie called Nobody. Yeah, he did a movie called Nobody. So I'm gonna watch that tomorrow as well, and then the next day I'll pick out 2 others. I missed Ready or Not. And I wanted to see that, and I missed the How to Make a Killing, and I wanted to see that. They're trying to make a movie star out of the star of. I'm the only one that's listening. I liked The Running Man. I liked Twisters. Glenn Powell. They're trying to make a star out of him, and nobody's biting. Every fucking movie he's done other than Twisters has been a bomb. I'm the only one that's going in and going, "Oh yeah, I like that one." The Running Man, I think, was a hell of a lot of fun right to the ending. They were very.
Did you read the original book?
Oh yeah. Oh, I've actually got the Bachman books.
So as an adaptation of the original book, this is how did the movie handle it?
Very well up until the ending. The ending is a darker ending. He does not survive the book, and the ending it's kind of like. They were doing the book. They were doing the book, and then they gave it the movie ending. In the Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man, he gets back to the studio, and they're all shooting everybody, and he has his moment with Richard Dawson, and he's like, "I'll be back." Yeah. So and he kills him. and that's what happens in this one, in this one as well. And I thought, that's a cop out. It's a cop out. It really is. But up until that, it was pretty good. Excuse me. Watch original Tron with old school 3D glasses.
One of the comic. Oh, nice.
Go ahead.
Well, that's actually one of the comic critiques of the new Running Man adaptation. Everyone enjoyed it except for the ending.
Yep. Let's see. Terminator Salvation had a good concept with taking place during the war, but fell flat, much like GoldenEye Rogue Agent. I think what they should have done is kind of an adaptation of Terminator Burning Earth, which told the story of how they got John Connor to the time platform in order to send him back. I think they should have handled it like that. I don't think that you could have made a franchise out of Terminator Salvation, because you know where it's going. You know where it's going to end. So the best bet they had was, let's tell that story. And instead they went to Genesis, where like, haha, now John Connor is a Terminator.
Which nobody liked at all. Oh, critics and fans.
Or as Rhaegar is saying, turning John Connor into Terminator was stupid. Yes.
Well, even back then, like when Terminator, or when there were actually Terminator comics published under Now Comics, it was like there was a continuation like of Terminator 2, and it's infinitely better than Terminator 3.
I think you guys are nobody. I think you guys are mixing up his movies. Bob Odenkirk movie. Was it Nobody? Normal. Yeah, Nobody was. Yeah, Nobody 2 was. Yeah, Nobody 2 was his the last one before the one that's out. Normal is the movie that's out. I was the one that was mixing them up. Nobody was awesome. Nobody 2 is a sequel to Nobody. I think that's the best thing. If you guys have lived through the 80s and 90s, you know what I'm talking about. Nobody 2 was a sequel to Nobody. It was. Nobody 2 is made by committee. And actually they came out and they said so. They thought they had more than what they did. It's like one of those movies, the sequels, where they think they know what the audience liked about the first one. So they put more of that into it, and they lost what everybody liked about the first one. The thing about the first was almost like a Die Hard, where it was this seemingly normal guy. And when he fought, he got his ass whipped, but he still won. And he becomes a superhero in Nobody 2. It's the Die Hard 1, Die Hard 2. Yeah, you could even throw in Die Hard with a Vengeance. By the way, wasn't originally supposed to be a Die Hard movie. It was supposed to be a movie called Simon Says. But then you get to the fourth one, and he's driving cars into helicopters. He's jumping out of airplanes, and John McClane's a superhero. It's not the same. It's just not the same. Let's see. It's the movie starring David Spade and that other idiot. Hey, so long as it's funny. I used to hate this kind of comedy, by the way. And I went and saw with my wife. She goes, I want to see a stupid comedy. I was like, stupid comedy? What do you mean? Like Airplane or something like this? Or which, by the way, are actually smart, but they just seem stupid. And she goes, no, like, and she brought up Billy Madison. And I was like, Billy Madison was okay. And we went and saw Tommy Boy. And I watched Tommy Boy already because I put it together, and I thought it was okay. And I watched it with my wife, and she was laughing, and she was and that got me giggling. And all of a sudden, I could not stop watching Tommy Boy because I was like, wait a second, there's jokes here so I went back and I watched Billy Madison, and I started enjoying that kind of sense of humor a lot better. My wife taught me how to enjoy stupid comedies. So I appreciate that. Yeah, there was a lot about Billy Madison that I didn't care for. I was entertained, and I did think it was funny at the end of the line that everybody likes with the everybody here who has heard it is stupider and all that. But I didn't get a lot of the story. Now I look now my favorite one of my funniest and the my favorite moments, what I find funny is when he goes to this serious conversation with his father and he just kind of stares and he starts dancing to I'll Tumble For You. It's something Gail has actually caught me doing, and this is one of the reasons why we find it funny, because I'll just be standing there and the Oompa band in my head and I'll be like, and I'm looking in the fridge or something. All of a sudden, Gail's standing there. It's like, I'm not stopping. If you had the song in my head, in yours, you wouldn't stop dancing too. So yeah,
Yeah, but I'll say like briefly, let me get back. I get back to like the real Terminator 3. It's the comic series is called Cybernetic Dawn, and it's
yeah.
actually, but before that there's Terminator 2 Nuclear Twilight, and actually it does cover like John and the human resistance like during the war like against Skynet, and like and it's pretty much was like what Salvation tried to be, if they actually reached out to Cameron and as read Nuclear Twilight, like that Salvation like would have like could have actually performed better, or because people like actually wanted to see like the war against Skynet like in its entirety. Now with Cybernetic Dawn, unlike the real Terminator 3, it takes place like after the events it's like of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Okay, so like they're able to defeat the T-1000, but John and Sarah that to like evade and that to escape the long arm of a government agency. Basically, because yeah, well, like two of them and Dyson, they pretty much like took down Skynet, kind of like before it even came to be. But knowing that Skynet is very petty and a hater. It sent a trio of Terminators. There's like to take out the Connors in one last ditch effort to take them out and to ensure its birth. And that's all I'm gonna say because I don't
Okay.
want to give away spoilers for Cybernetic Dawn as well as Nuclear Twilight.
Highlander 2 says Zero Hero Angel is a good way to ruin it.
Yes,
It was horrible. That was god awful, man. I was at where was I? I was at the Cinemark at the Florida Mall at the time. I was manager of the theater. We were all excited. We put it on. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? It was horrible, so bad, so bad.
have,
Then we got him. Oh,
have you
R.I.P.
watched the
Chris
TV
Farley.
series?
No,
Yes,
I
Chris
no, I did
Farley.
not.
May he rest in peace. What?
By the way, as
The
much as
TV
I like Tommy Boy, check out Black Sheep as well. It is
Black
stupid
Sheep.
funny.
No, dude, I love Black Sheep, and Tommy Boy
That
is still a good
fall down
movie.
the that fall down the hill is funny as fuck. He
Hmm.
actually was mad that people just want to watch the fat man fall down. That fall down the hill was hilarious. And the fact that
Hmm.
he falls for like 3 minutes and he stands up and it's like, what the hell was that shit? And then he falls and again he just slips and he falls for another. It's so stupid. Uh, it's just it's so it
No,
was so fun.
no,
It
that
was
scene still gets me
perfect.
laughing after. Oh, that scene
Yeah,
gets me laughing after all these years.
that was funny as hell. Now, Happy Gilmore 2 was bad, but it did have one really good scene in it. There's a fight between him and Shooter McGavin in a cemetery,
Oh, at the cemetery,
and
yeah,
they keep bumping up against headstones for all of the actors that died since the first
yeah.
movie. Yeah, that is brilliant. It's not a particularly funny scene, but it was such a clever scene. It's a great scene in a bad movie. It's just fantastic. Yeah, I love that scene.
But
Getting my
now,
pre-order
like, get this.
tickets
But
for
when I was
Nightbound
watching like Happy
Wednesdays. Thanks,
Gilmore
Grego.
2, you're
Yeah.
like there was some cameos like I did. I mean, there were cameos that I was happy to see because because Stanley he was able to get a majority like of the cast from the first movie back. like except for the few like that were shown like in that were shown in the cemetery. But the one cameo that took me by surprise was was Eminem as the son of that of the Jackass guy.
Yeah.
That took me by surprise. Like what? Wait, oh my gosh, that's actually Eminem.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. But overall, though, I was just like everybody else. What? They really fucked up Happy Gilmore. Well, I mean, of course, the original movie's still there. We can watch it. We can enjoy it. But
Yeah,
you and of course, the girlfriend could still be alive, and they're happy ever after. You never have to watch Happy
yeah,
Gilmore 2 ever again. I've
yeah.
never believed in that movie ruined the series. And Terminator's proof of it. No fucking way are any of the movies that came after Terminator 2 going to ruin Terminator and Terminator 2. They can't. They exist in perfection. And your movie collection does not have to include Terminator 3 or Terminator Salvation or Genesis or Dark Fate. They just don't have to. So it's like Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, greatest fucking trilogy of all time. I wonder if they'll ever make more. It's just the
Grand
way it
Admiral,
is,
I agree. I agree that
Yeah.
one of the redeeming qualities of Happy Gilmore 2 is Shooter McGavin, because people thought like he was gonna be like the villain of the movie, like getting his revenge on Happy, but no, he actually turned his life around.
He is. I
That's
was actually kind of sad he didn't go big. The actor, I'm actually kind of sad he
yeah,
didn't get bigger. Because he was really
right?
good as a villain in the '90s and 2000s. I liked him in
Yeah.
Superhero Movie. That's another movie that everybody hates. That I. Oh, by the way, that was supposed to be a topic we were talking about. That's another movie everybody hates that I'm supposed to hate, and I actually enjoy is Superhero
Now
Movie.
I was introduced to Shooter through two sources: the Iron Giant as a voice actor and
Okay.
Flubber as a live actor. And actually, it's thanks
Okay.
to Flubber it led me to the original movie, The Absent-Minded Professor.
Old farts like myself were introduced to Shooter McGavin, the actor behind him, in Grease 2. He was one of the T-Birds in Grease 2. Where does the pollen go? That's him, by the way, for those of you who don't know. For those of you who are old enough
I,
and dumb
I
enough to have
recognize
watched
him.
Grease 2. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
I
used to
remember
watch
watching Grease too.
hmm he's one of
And
the. I used to actually think that movie was good when I was a kid,
when you look
but
back in
as I grew
hindsight,
older, yeah, it's not great. Great soundtrack, by the way. I actually like the soundtrack, but yeah, not a good movie.
yeah.
No. The Iron Giant was one of the best animated films ever. Oh my gosh, that's actually. I took my daughter. She was what 2, 3 years old at the time to see Iron Giant, and she comes home and Gail goes, "How did you like the movie, Ashley?" And she goes, "That was the greatest movie I ever saw.
And she's
The
not
best
wrong.
movie in my life." She loved it. It is such a great film. That's one
now
of those.
now have you ever
There, go ahead.
have you watched or bought a copy of the director's cut of The Iron Giant?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't remember. I haven't seen the Iron Giant in a long time. Now I'm thinking I need to see it
I
again.
recommend I recommend watching the director's cut of Iron Giant.
Hmm. Um, I will. I would love to. What's Austin saying? I used to think like you in terms of that completely, but there's a point to saying blank ruined originals as much as I find the sequel trilogy illegitimate. Yeah, you don't need
The
it.
true
By
sequel
the way,
trilogy is the true sequel trilogy is the Thrawn trilogy, starting with Heir to the Empire, or Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command.
that's
And
if you want to read the
and
books.
it and for years But for years, or read the books, or read comic book adaptation done by Doors. Or like when they had the license to Star Wars.
Now, he goes on to say,
It's like
I still
you
occasionally
can
hear in my
you can
head
still enjoy
somehow
Star Wars.
Okay, let me read this off so he can finish his thought. I still
Sure.
occasionally hear in my head somehow Palpatine returns when I see him fall down the shaft in Return of the Jedi. I hate it when that happens. There is a mark left. It doesn't ruin it physically, just psychologically during rewatches. Well, I'm going to say this. It's on you. I mean, that's the way you think. That's not the way you have to think. Why would you want to do that? Why would you, just, I don't care. Somewhere, okay, fine. Doesn't ruin it for me because I'm watching the perfect trilogy in Star Wars, Empire, and Return of the Jedi. But I mean, obviously different mindsets and such like that are going to interpret things differently. But that's just the way it is with me. And also, do you put yourself through it? I mean, if they came out with Lord of the Rings starring Corky from My So-Called Life as Gandalf, why would you watch that? And if you did, could you separate yourself from it? Or this remake that's coming out doesn't affect the original. There's been I can enjoy the Thing from the 1950s, and I can really enjoy the Thing from the 1980s. Does one affect the other when you're watching? Do you
really
go
in the long run?
But what he's bringing up though is a good point to remakes. Can you watch The Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds and then watch The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler and Burt Reynolds as separate two different movies? Or do you have to watch the new one and go and have the original as a ghost? I think that actually does happen sometimes. I think that happens to me if the new one isn't good. Like I can watch Longest Yard with Adam Sandler; it's its own creature. I could watch the one with Burt Reynolds. I prefer the one with Burt Reynolds. But yeah, that's actually a pretty decent thought. I mean, how do you react when it's like that? Or are you like Austin, where you think, okay, yeah, but I know that's in there. I know that's in the chapters and such. I know that's out there. They decided in Star Wars that they're going to kill a bunch of horses and nobody's going to mention it in the final sequel. So how can we see them as heroes? Do you think like that? Do you think those little itty bitty things? And did you guys actually notice how they killed all those horses and they didn't mention it? By the way, for those of you who've seen the scene in the previews, this has always bothered me. They ride these horses onto a ship. They jump off and they do the boo 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 boo, and then the ship is destroyed and everybody's getting off of it. And I'm thinking, yeah, what about the horses? I don't know why, but I can't stop thinking about those fucking horses. I was like, wait, why did you ride the fucking horses on there if you're just going to kill them? Nobody else brings up the horses. Dom, I'm going crazy about the horses. Yeah, anyway. Let's see. Us is not the only one, and we didn't ask for it. I still watched Andor, and I liked it, but the overall franchise is kind of dead to me now. Yeah, but did you watch the Ewoks movies in the 1980s or from the 1980s and go, holy shit, Star Wars is done because now I know these Ewok movies exist? Because or I'll tell you this, for older people like me, how much did the Christmas special ruin it for you? I can't watch it. I can't watch this because I just watched a fucking Wookiee have visual sex with, Donna Summer during a music video. Yeah, nobody said that shit before now where you watch, oh, it's now ruined forever. I mean, there's been bad Star Wars since the creation of Star Wars. So, but now it becomes, oh, these sequels make it so I can't watch Return of the Jedi? I don't know. I can't watch Return of the Jedi because Moons of Endor or whatever it was called, the Ewok movies pissed me off. That's kind of my thought. There's been bad Star Wars since the creation of Star Wars, so it's not intentional. I also consider the Thrawn trilogy to be the real sweet sequel trilogy. It's an unconscious thing. Yeah, I get it. I'm playing devil's advocate because ultimately the way you enjoy Star Wars or not enjoy Star Wars doesn't affect the way I do and vice versa. That's really it. We're just having a conversation here, and I'm not trying to put anybody down. It's just the different ways we look at things. Let's see. They've just proven that they cannot be relied on to make high quality content, even though we all know they have the ability to do it. I guess it hits me harder because I read the books. I'm with you guys. I think one of the dumbest things we heard was when they said they weren't going to go to the books as sources. This is something that has pissed me off for so many franchises. Probably you too. Here we have, and they go after us. They go after us, which is stupid because we're the ones that have kept these characters, kept these franchises alive, and love them enough for these fuckers to have a job that allows them to ruin it. And then when we're saying, hey, you're ruining it, they go, well, you're just a, what do they call it, an istophobe? It's ridiculous. Yes. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. Jim saying, I like both Longest Yards. Me too. It's a feeling of betrayal in a sense that is hard to explain to normies. I'm not a normie, dude. I think at least more geeks and nerds understand, but everyone else is like, whatever. I know. I hate that attitude. Like, we don't fucking matter. There's a line. Okay, there's a movie. I think it was called The Opposite of Sex with Christina Ricci. In it, she stays with a couple of gay guys, Leonard from Big Bang Theory, Galicki, Johnny Galicki. He's in it.
Johnny Galicki. But I was also introduced to him through Roseanne before.
Of course,
before Big Bang.
So you have Johnny Galicki plays a young gay guy, and he is arguing with an older gay guy. And the older gay guy has enough, and he grabs him by, apparently he has a piercing down there, and he grabs him by and goes, listen, you young punk, I didn't fight through Stonewall and this and that and a big fucking disease with a little name just so you could blah, 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 and yada, yada. Nobody fucking up our franchises was ever bullied, was ever called names, was ever shunned by mainstream because they liked Iron Man or because they liked Batman, or in my case, because I brought comic books to school. None of these fuckers went through the battle to get this shit to the mainstream, and all they do right now is put you down and in some cases destroy the franchises. So I absolutely fucking know what you're talking about. It's just I refuse to let their shit ruin what I love. I refuse. I've said this before. Be careful what you wish for when you're saying, hey, they should bring back. But I refuse to let the fucking sequels, which I haven't seen since they were in the theaters, ruin my love for Star Wars. Fucking George Lucas tried to kill that shit already, and I managed to enjoy it still. But I'm not even going to give them the fucking chance. They don't get the chance to ruin what I love. That is my attitude to it. It really is. So yeah, I love Star Wars. I love Empire Strikes Back, and I love Return of the Jedi. I can tolerate the prequels. Rogue Squadron I thought was decent. Maybe Han Solo was a good movie. Maybe it was a bad movie. I don't know. I couldn't see it. I was in the theater. It was so fucking dark. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So if there is one thing, as far as all the story things that were so wrong about Han Solo, go back and watch that movie. The lighting was horrible. You just couldn't fucking see anything. As far as the others, it's just been a shit show. The TV, I haven't seen Andor, which I hear is the best thing as far as the TV shows. But what I didn't watch Acolytes. The fuck I want to do that for? Maybe I could put it on and complain and bitch about it like Gary and the Black Pills. I mean, they made a bundle for it, but why the fuck do I want to put myself I like the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Yeah. I like The Mandalorian for the first couple of seasons. The third season, I was watching it out of habit. And Boba Fett, I disliked from the very first episode. Finished it, disliked it. Obi-Wan was a fucking jump rope. That was cool. That was shit. That was cool. That was shit. That was cool. That was shit. And ultimately, I'm like, okay. The weird thing is I'm looking at them like there's movies and there's content, and it's the same thing with Marvel. With all the fucking TV shows, how much of it is actually movie or show, and how much of it is just content? You know, The Acolyte isn't a TV show; it's content. It could have been a fan film on YouTube, and it could have had the same impact. I don't know. Anyway, I'm ranting. Let me get some comments, and I've let's see. I've had to learn to block out some of the garbage so I can still enjoy what came before, but with Star Wars, it's a hard one, says Grand Admiral. It's a little different. I can agree. The Christmas special, the Ewok movies weren't intentionally bad. I do you know that they think they're making good shit? That was one of the things when we were in Comicsgate, and everybody's like, I just want good comics. Guys, they think they're giving you good comics. And the only reason why you don't like them is because you're a racist. They think they're doing good. That's the whole thing. Kathleen Kennedy actually thinks she's doing good stuff. You're just a fucking sexist for not seeing that she's doing good stuff. It's a weird way of looking at it there. I never said I would never watch Return of the Jedi because of the Rise of Skywalker. I'm just saying that they're bad sequels. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Once again, I'm not trying to jump down anybody's throats. This is my opinion. I can't believe I said I said good night, by the way, about 50 minutes ago. This is an old style live stream where it's just let's keep the conversation. The thing and an example of being able to get two different versions of the same material and both are great. It's possible. I agree. I love the 1950s one. I got to tell you, I would, if you say, let's put on The Thing, I'm thinking the 1982 one, but yeah. There's movies that absolutely do not need a sequel. I agree. The Thing is one of them. And yet, my cousin literally thinks The Acolyte is one of the best pieces of Star Wars content ever. Well, yeah, content, not one of the best TV shows or movies. I thought he was trolling, but he's real. Knowing what I know about it, seems like the Twilight Zone. Wow. And Rhaegar, I'm serious. We were just talking this Saturday about The Acolyte, and he was like, I don't know why they canceled it. Me neither. I didn't see it. So what did you think of The Acolyte, Dom?
I avoided it.
That's why they canceled it. It's like what was it, that Star Trek show that just came on and got canceled?
Starfleet Academy.
Could not tell you one fucking thing that was on there that wasn't in a meme. I could not tell you. I saw the preview and well, that's gonna suck. The one thing that I actually thought looked good that I never saw was there was a Star Wars TV show about some kids. I saw the preview. I thought, wow, that looks like the Goonies, but with Star Trek. I might want to see, or Star Wars. I might want to see that, and then I forgot about it. I don't even know what it was, but I think it had Jude Law in it or something like that. But when I saw the preview, I was like, yeah, that looks decent. I'll put that on. Forgot about it. Didn't even know it was on, and then I was like, well, should I start that? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Look, Soap is on Tubi, so let's watch that instead. Yeah, Starfleet Academy. Hold on. Wait, not he's who living is jumping down people's throats under the bridge. Oh, okay. Yeah. What was that show? It was a Star Wars TV show about kids. Would you? I don't know. It's like I said.
I know what you're talking about. They were pretty much like doing an homage of Joe Dante's movies, but people forgotten that this isn't a Joe Dante production. You can do this is Star Wars. It takes place in a galaxy far away. It's science fantasy.
Bad Batch is an animated thing, I think. This was live action. I couldn't make it halfway through episode
Yeah,
3
Bad
of
Batch
The
is
Acolyte.
animated.
It sucks balls. Hey, Tony Hayes, how you doing? We're at the ranting part. We're just taking questions and everything. We were done with the actual thumbnail about an hour and 20 minutes in, and we've just been chatting since. This is the perfect thing. I'm going to break this down into individual videos. I think that'd be kind of fun. I love when it goes off the rails and we get into whatever the hell you guys want to talk about and everything. Or it's a lot of fun. I got to tell you though, I have not been jumping on all the bandwagons, good or not, whether or not I could make videos talking about how shitty they are. I don't know. It's why the fuck would I want to watch The Acolyte if I wasn't making a video about how bad it was? In which case, why not just turn on the camera when it's time to watch the new episode and let's see it together, like when we do the Super Bowl. I've been going through the X-Wing books from the 90s. It's so much fun. The New Republic is trying to invade Coruscant after Return of the Jedi. I'm pretty sure Dom could speak on those a lot better than I can. I never read the books. I never read. I read a couple of Star Trek. I don't think I read Splinter of the Mind's Eye. I don't remember reading any Star Wars books. Star Wars comics, yes, but never the books. Or Dom won't comment on it. Did you read the entirety of the Star Wars books, the Star Wars universe? I don't know what you guys call it. Oh, we may have lost him for a little bit. That sometimes does happen. But yeah, I never read the books. Oh, yep, we just lost him. Yeah, I'm sure he'll jump back on though. I got a few of them. I got the Mirrorverse, a book about Star Trek about the Mirrorverse. I'm more of a Star Trek fan than a Star Wars fan anyway, but even then, I'm not one of those crazed people who could tell you the serial number or the what was the joke in Saturday Night Live, the combination to Captain Kirk's safe or anything. I'm not that crazy of a fan and all that kind of stuff. I don't think I've ever been that way with anything but comics. And then it was after I started reading all of the what happened and the who's and the behind the scenes shit with comic books and such. I don't know. I'm still looking for you guys for inspiration on what else to talk about. I'm kind of out of it. Tony Hayes saying he also read the Rogue Squadron. I tried to watch the cartoon. What was it? The Clone Wars. Maybe one day. Let's see. I read Splinter and Splinter of the Mind's Eye and Heir to the Empire, but that was years ago. I think it's called the EU, the Expanded Universe. Okay. Yeah, I think I read Heir to the Empire as well. But it was so long ago, I couldn't tell you anything about it. What you gonna do? I don't know. Let's see. I'm kind of drying up here as far as here he is. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well, but to answer your question earlier before I got cut off by StreamYard, yes, I've read most of the Star Wars, the originals, expanded universe books and comics, but not all of them.
Good, because you can comment on that stuff.
Look, they're worth the read, man. You won't regret them.
Austin saying last night was the first time watching Curse of the Black Pearl after going on the ride. By the way, we did on my Disney channel, we did rank all of the Disney rides and everything, and Pirates of the Caribbean way up there. We did the Magic King. We didn't rank like the entirety of Disney World. We ranked each part. And Splash Mountain, by the way, ended up with #1. And then they go and fucking change that. My thing was about Pirates Caribbean is the version of Pirates Caribbean you saw was not the first Pirates Caribbean I saw as a kid. There's a little bit more bite to it. They have a scene. It used to be they were selling women. And, so we wants the redhead because she was the more beautiful one and all that kind of stuff. And they changed it to who wants to buy me chickens? Why don't we just fucking steal the chickens? Okay, we're pirates. All right, let's just steal the fucking chickens. No pirate is buying chickens from another damn fucking pirate. Okay, but that's my whole take on the ride and everything. It's they kind of gutted it a little bit. Um, but the movie is just fantastic. One thing I'd say, if you're watching the movie at home, make sure you've got a surround, or at least that faux surround thing. To me, the Curse of the Black Pearl, the movie, the music, you have to have that music blasting. It's got to be, because when the action goes dun 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 dun, dun just that's one of the best soundtracks. That's my opinion. Let's see, the Thrawn trilogy had comic book adaptations at the same time. They're good. They had different artists for each 6 issues per book. And one day I'll have to read those. I really haven't gotten into the Star Wars stuff. Do you know what I liked? Indiana Jones. I used to have the omnibus for that, and I read the shit out of those books, Fate of Atlantis and such like that. Yeah. Anyway, we have been at this for 2 hours. 1 hour has been completely off topic. Tomorrow we should be doing Scion covers from CrossGen. I would not mind. I'm going to the movies, so I don't know if I'm going to be home in time to do a live stream or anything like that. Wednesday, Gail has asked me to do another auction. So I might do a 25% or something like that, or just redo the books that didn't sell. I'm going through a lot of, or maybe I'll do that. I'll just show off the books I got at the show, and if you guys want to bid, cool. But yeah, she wants me to do that. Yeah, that'll be on Wednesday at some point in time. I'm going to the movies tomorrow. I know I'll be home by 10 for the before the cover ranking. If I'm home in time and I've got the energy to do it, I might even jump on and do a little movie review. I've been wanting to do that. I've seen some movies this year, and some of them actually have been pretty good. Some of them have been shit, but yeah. By the way, for those of you, if you need like an explanation, it works like this. If I say a movie's entertaining, it is exactly that. I don't take it. Might not be the greatest thing in the world. It was entertaining. You know, you sit there, you pay your money. Yeah, you get entertained. You walk out. Is it going to be in your collection later? Maybe, maybe not. You know, I'll say it's good. I'll say it's great or whatever. But if I say entertaining, it means exactly that. It's like one of those. It'll keep you. It'll keep you. And oh God, I can't even think of it. It'll keep you entertained for the length of the movie. Doesn't mean it's going to stick with you, in my opinion. That's how it works. Let's see, off topic, but it's been fun, says Grandam. In all honesty, I've been asked to do more of these off topic things where we just start talking and let's have a chat. So, yeah, kind of want to get to that.
At the same time, so I mean, it is just as entertaining where we remain on topic, so as much as we do off topic.
Yeah. The old live streams, I would put a topic line. Obviously, this is a different thing where we want to do an if I wrote. It's a very specific. Let's do that afterwards. Of course, we talk about whatever we want. But in the old days, whenever I would do a live stream like this, there would be some time when I would put up a title, like I would have to have a topic. So it would be, Wokey this said this stupid thing. Let's talk about it. And we may never get to Wokey saying it. Somebody asks a question and the entire thing goes off the rails and we just talk for 2 hours. Let's see. I've been on a big Indiana Jones kick, says Tony Hayes, since I got my bullwhip off the internet a few weeks ago. And I have not fucked myself up yet. Yeah. My parents and sister just watched Solo Mio for the second time. It's the smash hit in the household. They love it. I liked it too. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. I watched that and I was like, holy shit. They brought back the romantic comedy and nobody cared. Nobody fucking cared. This is such a classic romantic comedy. Solo Mio, it stars Kevin James. He goes to Italy to get married and his wife leaves him at the altar. But he has this honeymoon package. So since it's all been paid for, he decides to go through this tour and everything. Of course, he finds love. And it's just so
watch that movie
charming.
when it was.
Yeah,
I mean, to watch that movie like at my local theater before it was removed.
but it was like out for a week. It's
Which
true.
is bull,
It
which
was
is
they.
bullcrap. If you Which is bullcrap if you ask me. Like it should not leave the theater like by the next week. And what I heard through the grapevine, it is a genuinely good movie, which remind me of romantic comedies of yesteryear, and
Yeah,
even
it absolutely
like classic romantic books.
it absolutely is a an old fashioned romantic comedy, and I'm just amazed. There are quality films that are being ignored. Now it was the same last year. Death of the Unicorn was a hell of a lot of fun. Nobody watched it.
So I
There was a
still need to
decent.
watch it.
Say again.
I still need to watch it.
Yeah, it's on HBO now. There was a movie called Drop, decent thriller. This year, I actually haven't been to the theater as much as I want to be or should be, tell you the truth. But I know I've seen. I must have a top 10 at this point. Maybe I'll do that at some point because I do want to do a kind of a catch up and talk about these movies I'm seeing because sometimes it's like pretty damn good. I on Netflix they've had a couple. I watched that Jack Reacher movie, the one where he's going after I didn't know it was a sci-fi film. He plays a military guy. It's on Netflix. Alan Richman, I think his name is, and they're doing war games where they've got to go and destroy a plane, and they find this metal thing, and they attack it, and it attacks back and starts chasing them. It turns out it's an alien spacecraft of some sort. That actually turned out to be pretty decent. I like the Matt Damon, Ben Affleck thriller that was out earlier this year. That was pretty good. I don't know. I gotta see what I've seen and maybe do a video about that. But Solo Mio, I do recommend that. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a lot of fun. What else the fuck did I see in movie theaters this year? I just haven't seen a lot. I didn't have my card for a while. I got it last month, and yeah. So now I'm seeing them. I looked through my collection. I already have the first appearance of Dream Girl, says Jim Soren, so I can keep mine. Yay! Because every time I find this book, it's missing cover pieces. This is the very first appearance of Dream Girl. I got it at the show the other day, and I was contemplating: do I put it on the wall? Do I sell it? Because I know Jim would buy something like this. Okay, you've got it. I'm keeping it. Sydney Sweeney was hot as black and white costume Spider-Woman and Madam Web. Best superhero film ever. A lot of people put that down, but I think you're missing out. I think a lot of people just don't understand Madam Web. I can't even do this. I'm sorry. I was trying to straight face a good review. I just didn't know where I was going with that. That movie is fucking hot garbage.
And not only it, that movie not only did like just like Spider Woman and Madam Web dirty, but also Ezekiel.
It's such a bad movie. With the MCU, talk about things we're supposed to hate, right? I don't hate the Marvels. I don't like the Marvels, but I don't hate the Marvels. I find it to be an entertaining film, not a great film, but an entertaining movie every time the three of them have dialogue. Anytime the action starts, that movie hits the fucking wall. But I actually enjoy it for the dialogue between the characters. It's actually pretty good. I still think Captain Marvel is the worst of the MCU. No, I'm sorry. Thor: Love and Thunder is now the worst, but yeah, Captain Marvel's a close second.
I avoided the Marvels.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. But yeah, that's one of those. You're supposed to hate that. No, I'm good. I like that. Yeah. Angel Studios has been pretty consistent. Good though. I'm concerned for Animal Farm. What on earth is Andy Serkis? Did that come out and leave already?
No, it did. No, it didn't come out. Yeah, well, the fact that Andy Serkis has evolved. Well, and he's a talented actor, and also like he's shown to be a capable director. I mean, I still need to watch his adaptation of the Jungle Book on Netflix, and what I heard through
It's
the
good.
grapevine,
It's actually good.
yeah, no, it's a good one. Yeah, but to see how he's handling Animal Farm, yeah, it understandably like gave people like concerns because they're like on that animated movie because like what's being shown in the trailer misses the point of Animal Farm and the warnings that it was entailing.
Oh, well, that didn't work.
You know what didn't work?
Hmm. There we go. Okay. As you were talking, these died. Yeah. So I was trying to change them out. I didn't know I was as audible as I was when I said that didn't work. I was talking to myself. Because I put the headphones on. I was like, where's the sound? Because the earbuds, you were talking and then it went boop, done. So sorry. I know you were talking about Andy Serkis's Jungle Book, and then it went. I tried to get the headphones on so I could still hear the story. Sorry.
Well, so like after people were shown the trailer of the animated adaptation of of Animal Farm, like, people had justifiable concerns.
Yeah.
It was because like what's shown is it's pretty much was like doing everything that the book and the author was warning and criticizing.
Now, I wonder if I want to see Animal Farm because I have a feeling if I go to see Animal Farm, I'm going to be hate watching Animal Farm. That's not something I usually do. I don't, it's like The Acolyte. Why would I watch it? I'm going to, by every measure, everything I heard, I'm going to hate it. So why would I watch it? Yeah, that's just a thing with me. I don't like to hate watch stuff. So why would I put myself through that? I probably will, though. I think that's going to be one of those people. I think that's one of those people want to talk about. When it comes out, I think people are going to want to talk about it because of what we see, what you're talking about. It looks like they flipped the message. I think Tim Pool did a movie review of it. He saw an early cut and he says, this is absolutely what we were fearing, that it absolutely is a movie where capitalism is the enemy. And apparently they're going not so much for communism, but for something different. But capitalism is the enemy. It's ridiculous.
But
It's also
now you
well, go
mentioned
ahead.
like now you mentioned he said he saw an early cut
Yeah.
of the movie. So if he and others like saw an early cut of the movie, oh, then like in any circus like any circus must like heard the critiques like levied at the early cut, and since the movie's not out yet, that he could actually go back and like fix the movie so it could be properly polished. So that way, like it is put people at ease, letting them know that no, that the movie is actually being faithful to the book,
Well,
but like, and is keeping like the warnings intact.
we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I will see that. I have no faith in it being good. I hope. I always hope, but I have no faith in that being good. What were the movies for? Yeah, like I said, it was Normal and the other one, the Bus Boys. I want to see that tomorrow, and then Wednesday I'm going to go see something called Drama and that sci-fi film with Ryan Gosling. I haven't seen it yet, so I was going to try to see
Project Hail Mary.
That's the one. Yeah. Let's see. Animal Farm in 1984. Good books. Very dark though. Yeah, and I like the original. They did do Animal Farm as an animated film 50 years ago. Let's see. Seth Rogen in the cast alone is enough for me not to want to watch it. He
I
does get a
mean,
little grating.
I mean,
Although
it's understandable, and yeah, like, I wouldn't blame you for not watching the movie because it has Seth Rogen.
now Seth Rogen was in a Keanu Reeves movie last year called Good Fortune, and I do
Yes, good
recommend
fortune.
that. But not for Seth Rogen.
No,
It's
it's
got
Keanu Reeves.
it's got Keanu Reeves, which is always a good reason to watch a movie, and Aziz
Aziz Ansari.
Ansari, yeah, and I think they are charming enough in the movie to make it good. I enjoyed Good Fortune. It's what I call a nice, quiet film. It's just a story. Some of those are my favorite kind of movies. The one that always pops into my head, and I do own it, is a movie called Oh God with John Denver and George Burns, where George Burns plays God and he presents himself to John Denver to deliver his message. And John Denver's a grocery store manager. You know, he's nobody special. That's one of the things. Why'd you pick me? I'm a grocery store manager. I love quiet films like that. You know, I love the big ones too. You know, it's just sometimes you just want to watch a good story present itself. And those are movies like that. And I think Good Fortune was one of those. All righty. Then you watch the 50s Animal Farm animated movie. Napoleon sounds like an intimidating dictator. Yes, that's the way it should. Anyway, guys, thank you. And Oh God Part 2, you devil. No, I thought Oh God Part 3, you devil. Oh God Part 2 was just Oh God Part 2. Yeah. That being said, guys, you have a great night. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to leave ideas in the comment section when this is posted. That also helps the algorithm. And if we get comments within the first 5-6 hours, then yes, they kind of push it out a little bit more. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.